life is so great because it's a process of learning. But I really blew it one time. I had a new girl in the church, just 14 years old, and one night I saw her down there just crying and praying, and I thought, this poor girl doesn't understand that the joy of the Lord is her strength. Yeah. So I go down and I lean over the pew and I get her head up off the pew and I say, honey, you know, you're a new convert and you need to just be joyful about God and salvation. And that little girl looked up at me and tears run right down her face and taught me a lesson. She said, Pastor, I do have the joy of the Lord. I'm thinking inside, you could have fooled me. She said, I have the joy of the Lord, but my dad's not saved. My dad's not saved. She said, last weekend we couldn't find my dad. He went on a drunk and we don't know where he was, and I think he's going to be gone again this weekend. I'd like for God to save my daddy. And preacher, if you don't mind, I'm going to just keep crying and praying until my daddy gets saved. About 3 weeks later, Brother Tenney, saw a big strapping man come walking through the door. He'd never been to church before. And he came, sat down, preached a little message, gave a altar call. He walked up the front, repented of his sins, talked to him. He set the time for water baptism. Just before he left, he shook my hand. He said, thanks, preacher, but I want to tell you something. I'm not here because of you. I'm not here because of your church. And I'm not here because of your sermon. But he said, the other night at 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. And he said, I was walking down the hallway by my little girl's room. And he said, I heard a noise inside. And he said, I heard my little girl call my name. I heard her crying in there saying, God save my daddy. He said, preacher, I want you to know why I'm here. It's because my daughter prayed for me. And let me tell you, her name is unknown, but she's a winner with God because her daddy's in the church. I think it's time we produce some real winners and not just a bunch of surface malarkey. It's time